Good morning. Today we are moving on with those percentages. This time we are doing CO24. I can find a new amount after an increase. And I believe I did a Khan Academy on this one, right? Was there a Khan on this one? Some of us that finished, yeah? Yeah. So some of us that have done this Khan Academy kind of have a heads up on how to do this objective. If you haven't done this one yet, really pay attention because there's a Khan Academy on this one. So here are some more situations you may be familiar with having to do with percentages. So when we would use this in real life. Last week you ran 20 miles. This week you plan to increase that distance by 15%. How many miles would you run this week? Or maybe you buy an iPod on eBay for $125 and you resell it with a 30% markup. So you want to make a profit on it. You want to sell it for more than what you bought it for. How much would you ask for that iPod? So you could get a 30% profit. Or your bowling score was 180 and your goal is to raise it by 45%. What score did you set as your goal? So all of those answers are going to be bigger, right? So if you bought it for $125 and you increase it by 30%, it's going to be a bigger number, right? We want to sell it for more than what we bought it for. So we have a couple of different ways that we can get to our answer. So just like in a PO23, we're going to go through different methods to get to that answer. So we're going to do finding the amount of the increase first, and we're going to see how that works for each of these scenarios. So if we have 15% of 20, what would that be? What's 15% of 20? You guys know how to do this. We did this in our last objective. What is 15% of 20? LJ? 3. Now we're going to take that 20, we're going to add that 30 to it, and we're going to get 23. So you can find that amount that you're increasing by, and since we're increasing, we're adding, so you just add them together. So let's look at the iPod. 30% of 125 is what? 30% of 125, Graham? 37.5. As we're talking money, we're going to put that 0 on it because it's 50 cents. Okay, $37.50. So now, what do I have to do? Looking back at how we did the running example, what do I have to do, David?
Add 125 to 37.50 cents.
$125 plus $37.50, and we get $162.50. This is money, so yes, you should have the dollar sign. Yes, you should go to the hundredth place, right? Because for our cents, we always go to the hundredth place. So we would sell that iPod for $162.50 if we want a 30% profit. Now we have our bowling example. What do you think I need to write? Who can walk me through what to write for this one? Oh, I know more than 2 people know. More than 3 people know. What should I write? What work am I doing? Christina. 45% of 180, because I want to increase my score by 45%. How much do I want to increase it by? What is 45% of 180? Beckett? 81. What do I do next? Hadley? 180 plus 81 and I want my score to be 261. When we're writing all these numbers, always circle your answer. Okay? So that's one method. Finding what that percent is, and then so if it was 15% of 20, that's 3. We know how to do that from the last objective. And we just add it to the original number. Okay, so we're doing what we've already done, and we're doing it one step farther. We're adding it back onto the original number. Another way to do it is finding the new total directly. So instead of finding that increase and adding it, we're going to do something a little bit differently. There's a formula that goes with this one. So you're going to want to write down the formula. You have your original number, and you multiply that by 100% plus your percentage. So this one, instead of multiplying then adding, we're going to add then multiply. So what that looks like, our original number for the running was 20 miles. Then we have 100% plus our 15% increase. So that would be 20 times 115%. What do we put in our calculator instead of 115%? What decimal would we do, Graham? 1.15. Right, so 20 times, close if I write the correct number. We would do 20 times 1.15. What does that equal? Claire?
23.
23. We get the same answer. Right? We're doing math slightly different, but we come to it the same answer. So you could find the amount of the increase and add it on to that original number, or you could add your percent to that 100%. So it would be 1 point something, because it's always going to be 100% plus. So 1.15 times 20. So you can either add, then multiply, or you can multiply, then add. So if we're looking at our iPod, what would be my original number? Harper? 125. And I'm going to multiply that by 100% plus what percentage? 30%. So that's 125 times 130%, or 1.3. And what do I get? Claire?
160.
And remember, this is money, so we go out to that hundredth place. Because we get 162.5, but when we put that dollar sign on it, we want to make sure we go to the hundredth. Again, same answer. We just switched up our steps that we were doing to get to it. Bowling, who can walk me through what to write? Beckett.
First write the original number 180. 105 that times 100% plus 45%.
It's 181.
180.
Oh, 100, thank you. 180 times what, Beckett?
Times 1.45.
1.45. What is 180 times 1.45? Natalie? 261. Same answer. We're just talking about it in that different way. So using one of the methods above, you're going to answer each question. So you're going to decide to yourself, which one kind of works with me? Do I like to find that amount of the increase and then add it on? Or do I want to use the formula where I'm adding the percentage to 100% and multiplying it. Doesn't matter which way you use, they're both valid methods, gets you the exact same answer. So use the one you're comfortable with. Okay, if you're one of these, you're like, ugh, I don't quite get it, don't use that method. Use the other one. Okay, so using one of the methods above, answer each question. Use a sales tax of 7%. Who knows what sales tax means? Graham? Is this a real thing? Is sales tax a real thing? Yeah, it is. You go to the store, you're buying stuff, you buy, let's see, not clothes, in Minnesota. Minnesota, we don't have sales tax on clothes, but when I go to Chicago to visit my in-laws and we have to buy something, we have a sales tax on clothes. That's why I always tell my kids, make sure you pack everything you need, because I don't want to pay sales tax when we go to Chicago. Because their sales tax is higher than Minnesota's sales tax too. So I always tell them, pack all of the clothes you need. I don't want to have to go out and buy you underwear because you forgot to pack underwear and you need clean underwear, because I don't want to pay sales tax. Right, so this is a real thing. We actually have sales tax on stuff that we buy. You go to buy a new bike and you see, oh, it's $120, woohoo, there's tax on it. You have to have more than $120 to pay for that new bike, because you have to have enough to cover the sales tax. So we're going to use the sales tax of 7%. We purchase a calendar for $12 and pay with a $20 bill. How much change do you get back? It's not just $12 that you're paying. You're paying $12 plus 7% sales tax. So who can walk me through how to solve this problem? Harper.
We need 7% of 12.
So how should I find 7% of 12? So if we're using that first method, we find that 7% of 12. What would that be, Harper? Say it louder.
24.
So this is money, so that's 84 cents, right? So my question is, how much change am I gonna get if I pay with $20? So what would my second step be here, Harper? So I'm being charged $12.84. Is that my answer? No, because the question is, how much is my change? So we always have to look at these questions. How do I find my change, Harper?
And then you subtract 12.4.
And what do I get? Eleanor?
$7.16.
$7.16. Okay. Make sure that you're not just doing the objective math, but you're answering the question. We know that we're paying $12.84 because we knew how to do that method, but the question was, how much change do we get? So make sure you're finding that change. You're going to do the second one on your own, paying attention to exactly what we're buying. 1 mango skin belt, 2 packs of batteries, and a phone case. So make sure that you are adding together to get that total amount correctly. So do that one on your own. Let's look at our second page. Below is a nightly report for a waitress at a local restaurant. Calculate each customer's bill after the tip was added. So we're doing the same math. Our original amount is $23. We're increasing it by that 10% tip. Use whichever method you want to tell what the total bill is. In our original, the initial bill is the original amount. Increasing it by 13%. use whichever method you want, and you're just saying what that total bill is. Down here it says find the new amount, show your work, same thing. Original amount, percent we're increasing it by, use whichever method you want. You do have to show your work. You can't just say, oh, I'm doing 215 times 1.38, here's my answer. It says show your work, I want to see what method you're using. Show me what you're putting into your calculator. Just write it out. It takes all of a second to write it out. Write it out. Then we have a word problem we need to work through, and we have some review. Our test for this will be next week. So make sure when we review it that you remember how to do these things. Test is coming up. Any questions on this objective? When you are done, it is quiet work time. Work on your math packet, work on your Khan Academy. I know there's quite a few of us who have already gotten that Khan Academy done. Okay. Math work first. I'm going to be making the video for the math packet in probably about 10 minutes. So I'm going to give you some work time on this objective, then we will make our video for the packet. There are a lot, nobody has gotten 100% on the packet yet. So everybody should be following through, paying attention when I make the video. Or if you're still working on your homework, you're going to get the objective page done. You can always watch the video at home. It will be on my YouTube channel. So this is quiet work time. We are not working together on math packets right now. This is quiet work time. If you are watching this at home, I hope you are well. I hope to see you soon. Make sure you come see me if you have questions. Have a wonderful day.